Hey, shalom, shalom again. This is Dr. Maxwell. Guess what? Ishmael was neither a Muslim nor an Arab. Yes, you heard me right, Muslims. Ishmael was neither a Muslim nor an Arab. There is no historical evidence that proves Ishmael was an Arab or a Muslim. You can go to historical books, go to historians, ask them if there are living evidence of Ishmael being an Arab or was a Muslim. There's nothing. As well, there is no Quranic evidence from the Quran, Allah speaking to Ishmael, or even mention the name Ishmael. In the entire Quran, 114 chapters, there is zero evidence chapter that says Ishmael was a Muslim or Allah is talking to Ishmael and or Allah even mentioned the name Ishmael. So where are they getting this information about Ishmael? Why are they saying Ishmael was a relative of Muhammad? While in fact in the entire Quran there is no evidence. When you go to Genesis chapter 21, verse 14 and to 21, you read about Ishmael. And you discover that Ishmael's mother was from where? From Egypt. He was an Arab. Abraham was not an Arab. Ishmael's mother was not an Arab. Now, how is it Muhammad is a relative of Ishmael? Ishmael is from Egypt, and Egypt is Africa. That means by default, Ishmael is half Africa. So when you say Muhammad was a relative of Ishmael, and we know that Ishmael, he's from Africa, the mother's from Africa, that makes Muhammad an African. Muslim will never buy or take that. So what happened, Muhammadans? Why are you teaching about Ishmael by using the Bible? And in the Bible, it doesn't say Ishmael was a Muslim. In the Bible, there's no say Ishmael was an Arab. So Muslim, I want you to answer my question. If Ishmael is the relative of Muhammad, why is it in the entire Quran, Allah never mentioned the word and or the name Ishmael? Entire Quran, there's no word Ishmael. Brothers and sisters, today I'm exposing a little bit of Islam to show Muslims that they've been lying to Christians by trying to link Ishmael to Abraham so that Muhammad can be accepted and his religion can be accepted. But in fact, even in their books, there's no word Ishmael in the entire Quran. Now let's proceed. Ishmael of the Quran, or of Islam, cannot be taught without using the Bible. Muslim will go to the Bible and use the Bible to defend Ishmael. Now, when you go to the Bible, we don't see the word Islam. The word Islam is not in the Bible. Even the word Islam by itself never existed before the birth of Muhammad. The word Islam came after Muhammad was born. So prior to Muhammad, there is no historical findings. There are no historical evidence that can say there was a word called Islam or Muslims. All these things started after the birth of Muhammad. So why are Muslims forcing Ishmael to be a relative of Muhammad? The answer is simple. Because without Ishmael being a relative of Muhammad, Muhammad becomes a fake and false prophet. But now we're using and going to the same Quran and question Muslims through the Quran to show us in the Quran, where in the Quran Allah names and or call this word Ishmael. There's nothing. Now, let's proceed. In Genesis chapter 25, verse 12 to 18, it tells us that Ishmael children lived on the border of Egypt. Not in Arabia, Egypt. Not in Arabia, not in Mecca, not in Medina, not wherever they have the Kaaba. Because they claim Ishmael and his father, they built the Kaaba, blah, 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 blah. They never lived there. They were in the border of Africa there in Egypt. So why is it Islam or Mohammedans are crying and fighting for Muhammad to be a relative of Ishmael? It's because Muhammad knew that at the time he's introducing Islam, if he want link himself with Abrahamic covenant, he won't be accepted. This is why they have to find, Muslims are trying to find a way of saying, hey, we are of Abrahamic, so you can accept us. But Ishmael was not an Arab nor a Muslim. Now, Allah of the Quran never spoke to Ishmael, even once. It's something we have to question. If Islam is this big and the lineage of Islamic of Muhammad is through Ishmael, why Allah never mentioned the name Ishmael? What happened, brethren? Why Allah never even say, hey, Ishmael, there was Ishmael, and Ishmael was a Muslim, and his lineage is, Muhammad is a lineage of Ishmael? Why? Because even Muhammad failed to link, because the people who existed at that time, they knew that Ishmael was an African and Muhammad is an Arab. So how can you link it up? Muhammad couldn't make a lie. This is why today's Muslims are the one lying about these things. But at that time, they knew who was Ishmael. They knew Ishmael, in fact, was an African. The mother was from Africa. In fact, the mother gave Ishmael an African wife. So Ishmael was fully African. So Muhammad couldn't touch that. Muhammad came now and start talking. I mean, Muslims now start talking about Ishmael because they think that maybe we don't have history about Ishmael. The history of Ishmael is in the Bible, and the Bible is veracious, is infallible and impeccable, and there is no evidence whatsoever that says Ishmael was an Arab, or let's say even if he was not an Arab, maybe he went to Saudi Arabia and lived there. There's none. Brethren, we Christians, we have to be proud of ourselves. Our book is historical sound, theological sound. You can verify the Bible through history, which is done with non-Christians, and you can verify the Bible through theology done by other people who were not in Israel. That what is in the Bible is infallible, but with the Quran, it's chaos. Even the foundation of Islam, which is Ishmael, is not infallible. It is fallible. It's a problem with Islamic religion. Now, let me ask a question. If Muhammad is the relative of Ishmael, and Ishmael's mother was an African, Ishmael's wife was an African from Egypt, is Muhammad an African? Can we ask Muslim, if you're a Muslim listener there, can you tell me, do you now say Muhammad was half African? They won't take it. They won't bite. They may even fight you and cut your head because Muslims are like that. Now, let's proceed. Since Muslim depends on the Bible to teach about Ishmael, let me ask him a simple question. According to the Bible, who was sacrificed? Was it Isaac or Ishmael? Because you don't have evidence in the Quran of the sacrificial of the begotten son of Abraham. The evidence or the book that says that is the Bible. Now, who was sacrificed according to the Bible? Was it Ishmael or was it Isaac? Muslims will go crazy because they know that the foundation of the entire Quran is weak. The foundation and lineage of Muhammad for him to be prophetic is weak because the person that used Ishmael was neither an Arab nor a Muslim. Without Satan twisting scriptures, the Bible, Islam cannot exist. Without Satan going to the Bible and start reading the Bible and start amending and cut and abrogate and do this to create Islam, Islam cannot exist without the Bible. This is why Christians today, we are proud of who we are. People are going on the street trying to teach and tell the truth about Islam because we are tired of the lies of Islam. Islam is fake and fraud. Listen to me. I'm asking Muslim now to provide historical evidence. If you're a Muslim listening, you're a scholar, Muslim scholar, you're an imam, you're a sheikh, I want you to provide me historical evidence that existed before Muhammad that Ishmael was a Muslim. That's question number one. Question number two, provide evidence that existed before Quran and Muhammad that Ishmael was an Arab. Third, provide evidence of Allah talking to Ishmael. Let's erase everything. Just give us evidence from the Quran Allah is talking to Ishmael. I will convert and be a Muslim right now. Right now here, I will take a shahada and be a Muslim. If you can give me that evidence, Allah is talking to Ishmael in the Quran, or Allah is mentioning the name Ishmael in the Quran. Right now, I, Mark Schubert, I will convert and become a Muslim. But there is no evidence of Ishmael in the Quran. There is no evidence in the Quran of Muhammad having lineage with Ishmael. That makes Muhammad a false and fraud prophet. Now, why do Muslims use the Bible? This is the very Bible that says it's corrupt. It's fake. Apostle Paul did X, Y, Z. Now, when you squeeze them, they go to the Bible. Oh, the Bible mentioned Ishmael. It's because they know that whatever happened, the foundation of the true faith in God belongs to Christian and is in the infallible word, the Bible. Brethren, today I have this short message for you guys. My idea was just to remind you Christians, don't be worried of this Muslim. When they bring a question, they pose a question to you. If you don't understand, that's fine. Tell them I got back to you. Go and do research. If you don't know how to research, just pose a question somewhere in the Facebook, whatever. We'll answer you or send to my office. We'll address that question and we'll help you to be able to fight for Christianity, to be unapologetic. So when they come, you will rebuke them and confront them. Thank you for listening. May God bless you. This is Dr. Maxwell.